Vishal, how are you?
Good, thank you.
To start, I gotta ask about the Pittsburgh accent because you had one guy say yins, and I was like, good, we got a yins in there. But when you're making a show set in Pittsburgh, where Pittsburghians like myself are gonna be waiting for somebody to say up there for you, how do you kind of navigate like dropping the little hints about Pittsburgh in
That's
without making it the whole thing about the accent?
I get that because it's funny. I have Pittsburghians and Pittsburgh. They're like, what's up with your Pittsburghese? Are you gonna say gum bands? I'm like, I'll get around to it. And and it really was. It's like because nobody in the show is from Pittsburgh, but I'm like, please listen to some Pittsburgh accents. I'm gonna throw. You guys are Yinsers. I'm gonna throw Yins in. I'm not gonna go over the top because in the backstory, like some people immigrated from other parts. Someone's from West Virginia, Wheeling, West Virginia, and he came up to Pittsburgh. So, but you're right though. I want that authenticity. The same thing happened for the Indian family too, right? They're from Ahmedabad, which is interesting because Ahmedabad, this town, is spelled Ahmedabad. And so they
Mhm.
said Ahmedabad. I'm like, no, but nobody from Ahmedabad says Ahmedabad. They say Ahmedabad. They say V. Other people in India don't say it that way. So it's almost the same way yins happen. I would have to do it with both people. Like, there's like they're from it's almost like imagine they're from the Pittsburgh of India, right? And they moved to the Pittsburgh of
I
America,
love that. They just
right? And it's like,
swapped countries.
yes,
Same
so they're
city.
both important. They're both going to be watching. And it was like that. I would literally call my friend from Pittsburgh because I haven't lived in Pittsburgh for 20 years, so like it goes away out of your head. And I'd call my friend from Pittsburgh and put him on speakerphone to have them talk before we rolled camera. I'm not kidding. And then I would have I'd call my mom and put her on speakerphone and have her talk before the Indian characters talk. It was fantastic.
I I love that because it's like watching the show. I really do love seeing like the Penguins sweatshirt at one point and like the snow when you walk out of the Pittsburgh airport and just little nods to the city on top of like everything else. For you, what was the most important thing that you really wanted to include in this show that was just that felt the most authentic to you as a writer?
The snow. Yeah, I'm glad you noticed the snow. When we moved from Ahmedabad to Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
when we moved there, I had never seen snow. I had never seen it. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't know what it sounded like. So, and this was emblematic of the show. In the pilot, there's a shot in the first episode of Banu walking across the street, and there's snow crunching under her feet.
Mhm.
That shot was almost the first thing I saw in the show beyond anything else. And I said, Michael Showalter, can we please get this shot wide of this girl underdressed for the snow, crunch, 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 because that was such a visceral thing to me. And that almost, in a way, like the ground upon which I stood was completely foreign to me. Not because it was America, because it was
Mhm.
nothing I had experienced before. That was a symbol of the show, right? She's crossing this terrain that's harsh and foreign, not foreign ethnically, foreign every way.
Mhm.
Um, because it's snow. It's just an Indian girl crunching across snow in like sandals. That to me was the symbol of the show. And that was like
Mhm.
so important that we get that because that set the tone of let's make sure the accents are as close as we can get. Let's make sure the way their colloquialisms are as close as we can get because that was the experience.
Yeah. I love it. I want to go have Permani Brothers and talk about the show with my family. But thank you so much, and I can't wait for everyone to get to experience the gray of Pittsburgh when they watch this.
I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud that Pittsburgh finally gets its due too, by the way. And that's why I'm like, we're putting it in the title. It's the Pradeeps of
Hell
Pittsburgh.
yeah. I love it.
Um, thank you
Oh,
so much, Rachel.
thank you. Have a great day.